I love my work so much. Henceforth, the Virgo in my chart. Many placements there are. But I love my work so much that when the higher councils of spirituality let me know what I was required to withstand or uh, relinquish, I was totally, readily, 100% okay with it. So what were those things for me? Because a lot of people personalize things that I say, and I don't even care enough about anybody to personalize anything that I say towards them without contacting them first. Gutter like that. But what were those things? Well, one being, I was a heavy marijuana addict. I don't even know if that's the thing. You feel me? Because weed is a herb. It comes from the earth. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm saying that I was addicted to it in terms of I would spend probably my last on a zip. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that that wasn't a smart investment at that time. Or I would smoke knowing that I had to prepare for some form of a mental clarity that would require me to be non-foggy in my intellect. And marijuana was one of those things that made me foggy in my intellect. You know, or the innate inability to be motivated and inspired. So marijuana was one of those things that I came to know that I had to relinquish. Number one. Number two was some friends' encounters and surroundings and settings. I love my friends, man, so much. Today is one of my homies' birthday party, and I don't even know how I'm gonna tell my bro, I'm not coming. I'm not coming. But look, because I need to research, man, and I need to work. I gotta work, bro. Like, my ability to comprehend text is at an all-time high right now. And I don't know if it got something to do with that full moon in Virgo, but it's been like this, you know what I'm saying, for many years, you know. Even in high school, I was a goof off, but I was brilliant. And that's why my coaches and my teachers gravitated towards me, because it was like, this kid is from the projects, this kid is from the gutter, this kid is from the ghetto, but she's smart. And she's brilliant, and she's fast, and she's talented, and she's a gold medalist. What can we do for her? And at that time, I didn't want to hear that, and I went to the penitentiary based upon not wanting to hear that. But ultimately, I had to go there as well. You see? So I'm well-cultured, well-grounded, well-rounded, per se. So one of the things that I recognized that was the hardest for me was having to relinquish friendships and some family encounters, because it's harder for me to climb out of the fifth dimensional perspective to inspire an individual on a lower level perspective. Now, don't get me wrong. If I see you fucking up, if I have to step down off of this throne and come get on your ass, I love you. I love you, brother. I love you, sis. I love you, cuz. You know? And that's just what that is. But to do so just in by way of the means of doing so is far more difficult for me. And perhaps maybe I'll learn how to do that soon enough. So that is a very hard thing to acknowledge, to relinquish on an everyday, because I noticed that people are hurt by that. And that's what hurt me. You know what I'm saying? That's what bothers me. I may never say it to people, but it bothers me that it hurt people, that they need my energy, they need my attention, they need my understanding, because I'm going to say something positive to them. And if they hurt, now I always had the proper words to say. I'm a Sagittarius. That's just my innate ability. My connectivity to the sensitive intricacies of people. I understand. Henceforth, the Sagittarius, the I understand. So that's one of those things. And then sometimes I can't really pull people where I want them to be, because they have not undergone certain spiritual lessons, because perhaps they chose to drown it out with marijuana, or perhaps they chose to drown it out with alcohol, perhaps they chose to drown it out with pills, or perhaps they chose to drown it out with frivolous sexual encounters that was causing them to lower their frequency. And that's fine, because that is their karmic cycle at that time. So I would never step in between what the universe has as a lesson for an individual and their destiny in that lesson. I would never. And I'm beefing with some people that I love right now, because I wanted to jump in and grab them and save them. You know what I'm saying? And these homies like that I've been knowing like a long time, all my life, been in jail with some more shit. And I wanted to reach in and grab them, and I wanted to save them in situations, but universe is like, you better not. You better not, or I'm gonna get on your ass too. I'm like, okay, cool, alright. Can I say protection? You know what I'm saying, in that situation? Absolutely, says the universe. Of course, that is your right. But to put your hands on what I am working on is wrong. So that's that. The third thing that I had to relinquish was relationships. Like, not my relatability, because I am relatable to attractive women. Like, I don't do men, but I am relatable to women who are attractive. That's just my natural essence. You feel me? But my desire to go higher in terms of frequency meant that I could not mix and corroborate energies with anyone at this particular time, because it is a requirement to harness all mental, spiritual, and emotional energy alike, and become studious enough. Oh, I got sunflower seeds in my mouth. I'm spinning mine. And to become studious enough to know who, what, when, where, and why, and to understand the responsibility of knowing who, what, when, where, and why. And sometimes that just means keeping people out of your force field. You know what I mean? And as much as I love who I love in my force field, you know what I'm saying? It was a requirement to relinquish that for the time being, and that has been one of the most difficult things, because relatably, we as people desire certain intimate settings with individuals that we deem ourselves to be attracted to. So one of the biggest tests was, are you going to listen to you? Or are you going to listen to your soul space that tells you no to this, no to that, no to this, and no to that? So boom, that's that. And then I had to relinquish stepping into the essence of street mentality. Like, all my life I kind of hustled, you know what I mean? All my life I figured out how to make more than what I had, and how to make it sustainable for me to expand. you know what I'm saying, selling drugs henceforth. So I'm learning so much about the idea that what you do in this time frame, me, not nobody else, me, what I do in this time frame, because my frequency is increasing so much, so and so heavily, that if I'm putting, drugs in people's hands, regardless of if they're gonna go and get it elsewhere. That used to be my excuse. If they don't get it from me, they're gonna get it somewhere. But regardless if the exchange is coming from my hand, it's a karmic connection to that for me. Now some brothers, they just design to sell drugs. They design to sell drugs. That's what it is. Like, they entrepreneurs in their own setting, and for whatever reason, the universe protects them in that setting, perhaps because they taking care of whole families and whole conglomerates. I don't know what they doing and what they got to do but for my path and for my mission and for my goal in life, that was one of those things that I had to relinquish. And I knew that it was a major test when big homies and big people was calling with numbers that was like unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? Like deals that it's too good to be true. It's like unbelievably almost damn near impossible to walk away from. I'm talking numbers, man. I'm talking numbers, man. I'm talking numbers, man. Anybody who ever hustled, they feel me when a nigga call your phone. Excuse my language, when somebody call your phone like, hey, I got this for this, but it's only for you, and it's only for a short period of time. What you gonna do? Give me about 15 minutes to call me back. If you don't call me back, I know what it is. And then, I get the fumbling with higher self, like, man, but if I just, so that was one of the hardest, out of all the other shit, that was one of the hardest things to relinquish, because ultimately, I like to move by way of self, and I like to reach out and grab the money that I know I can access, that I made, and I like to have connections with people enough to say, hey, listen, if you gonna get it, I'm gonna make sure you get it, and I'm gonna make sure you taken care of, and I'm gonna make sure you ain't finna get nothing that's gonna hurt you. That was the space I was coming from, but I understand now that it's like, okay, now you're at a higher spiritual council, so everything you do will be done unto you and or the people that you love. And if you are going to be a generational curse breaker, henceforth, I come from a generation of crack addicts, you dig, and alcoholics. So if spirit is gonna pull my people away from certain things, then I can't even be in the evolution of certain things. Like, I can't even be held responsible for that. You know what I mean? Like, so I say all that to say that I did my due diligence. I'm doing my part. And sometimes doing our due diligence and doing our part is parting ways with things and belief systems and old patterns, and or new things, new belief systems and new patterns that we had to come accustomed to, that we had become comfortable with, that no longer serves a higher calling, a higher purpose. And it's like breaking your bones. It's like breaking yourself. That's what it feel like sometimes when I want to do what I want to do. But I have to break myself, and I have to brace myself in the same essence, in the same instance, rather. So I'm learning, man. This is a journey. And I understand the term, many are called, but few are chosen, because few choose to be chosen by the call. You feel me? On their life, on their responsibilities, on their destiny, man. And I understand. I get it.